Hello and welcome to Southern Maine Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Today we're here to talk about the 50 years of the Charger. It's July 2016. Charger came out in 1966. It was a big deal for Dodge. It was really the gentleman's hot rod. It was sort of at the beginning of the muscle car period. The Charger was always sort of the gentleman's hot rod. It was a little more of a notch above the Coronets, the Chevelles and the Torinos, and of the other bulk of the muscle car period. The Charger is always a little special. Special styling, special interiors. 66, of course, is the first year. We got some traffic coming through. So, 66. Street Hemi was available in 66. This particular car is a 318, which is their sort of basic V8 entry. This car next to it is a 2016, 50 years later, I'm sorry. With the RT, with the standard 5.7 Hemi engine. These two cars would have filled the market at basically the same place. Dramatic styling difference. Same amount of fun. So let's get a little closer. Hideaway headlights. Really fancy interior. Kind of unique. 66 and 67 models were virtually identical. 2+2 seating. The seats fold all the way flat, all the way into the trunk. This car, you'll notice, had molded door panels and a molded headliner, which was really pretty fancy in its day. Interesting gauges. It was Charger only. The fastback roof, of course, is very typical Charger. Hard top configuration, just a really cool swept back look with all the windows rolled down. Spinner hubcaps. Charger had the tail lights that went from side to side, which was kind of a unique tail light arrangement back in the day. In fact, they carried that through even 50 years later with the side to side tail light arrangement. So now we'll move on to 67. Welcome back. Here we are in air-conditioned comfort inside Southern Maine Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Next year for the Charger is a 67. 66 and 7 were virtually identical. 67 was a very short production year because they were gearing up for the 68 Charger, which was a really big deal when it came out. So 67 Chargers, a lot fewer numbers than 66. The big styling difference between 66 and 7, virtually the only one, is this marker light on the turn signal indicator on the front fender. That's at a quick glance, that's the only styling cue between the two. This car is a 426 Hemi, which was the biggest option available for engine in 67. Quite a legendary motor, of course, and everybody talks about the Hemi. So here's a 67 Hemi Charger. With a 4-speed, this would have been sort of the top of the line Charger in its day, in silver. And next to it, 50 years later, basically we have the top of the line Charger in the dark silver. Again with a Hemi engine. Now, of course, it's supercharged with 700 horsepower. Back in the day, it was 2 4-barrels and 425 horsepower. Still, same amount of fantastic motoring experience. This car has Magnum 500 wheels, which were quite popular in the day. They were a very common either option or add-on for Chargers back then. Again, same interior as a 66. This car is a 4-speed with a tachometer and in black, which was probably the most common color for interior. Car runs and drives really nice, and one of the crowd pleaser favorites everywhere it goes. And then, of course, next to it here we have the Hellcat Charger, which has got a lot of play and interest in the media everywhere. This is the fastest, most powerful 4-door sedan ever built. Both cars are sort of high-end Again, gentlemen's hot rod sedans. This has a really nice interior also. And we'll check the other side. This has ventilated seats, heated seats, navigation, power everything, GPS, all sorts of electronics for traction control and ride and handling. This car comes with 2 keys, one for 700 horsepower, one for 500 horsepower. It has an amazing exhaust note. I could go on forever about this thing, and it's just, it's really a high point for Dodge. It's an awesome machine. So, Hemi 50 years later, let's take a look and see how different they look. Pretty basic by today's standards, you know, easy to work on. And then we come into the latest century here where it's a lot of computer controls. Still impressive. It says Hemi. And this is the supercharger, of course, on top. I like the fact that they use the same color engine paint 50 years later. Little tidbit of information there. So, now we move on to 68. Okay, so now here we are, 1968. 1968 was a huge deal for Charger. It was very popular when it came out. They had a big marketing splash about it. It was a very, very popular design. It really set the stage for the next 3 years of design for Charger. For some people, the 68 is the pinnacle of the Charger, or their favorite. And that's, of course, you know, everybody's opinion. It's a little different. But for 68, you can see they still maintain the hideaway headlights. It's a wide open grille, very aggressive look. 68 also had a big change. Body style wise, all the sheet metal, the glass, the interior, everything was different in 68. They shared a lot of the same. It's still a B body, so the components of the chassis were still reminiscent of the 67, but all the sheet metal, the glass, the interior was of course completely redesigned. This is a Charger RT. The Charger came in many trim levels, all the way from a 6-cylinder to a Hemi like we discussed, but the Charger RT of course is one of my favorite models, and the Charger RT was sort of the package that you know, was the performance package. When you got the RT level, the 440 engine was standard, and the only really optional engine for an RT was a Hemi. 68, beautiful body design. 68s are unique in this round marker light. So anytime you see a Plymouth or a Dodge with that round marker light, that was a 1968 year only deal. And then for the tail lights, instead of the side-to-side look for the tail lights, Charger went with these 2 round bullet tail lights, which for some people are the favorite of all Charger tail lights, but then I like them all. But the 68, this is a car that I've owned personally for nearly 30 years. It was probably the 2nd or 3rd old Mopar that I'd ever purchased, and it's sort of been passed around the family since then, to me, to my brother, back to me. I restored this car myself, I can't remember, 20 years or so ago, and just kind of left it the way it was. And it's a great joy, fun car. Classic green color. Green was a very popular color back then. Black vinyl roof. You can see the interior is really quite different. They're going back to more flat door panels, new rally dash type interior, all new seats and upholstery. This really begins the classic Charger period, 1968.
Yeah. Then I got the 69 Charger.
Yeah.
Then I got a 68 Polaris.
Yeah.
Which was red with white leather interior. Then I got a Super B 70.
Nice.
Then I got the Boss, the Mustang.
Yep. Okay, so now we have 1969. 1969 followed a huge sales year after the release of the 68 Charger. Virtually the same car with some grille and taillight styling differences. The interior upholstery is a little bit different. You can tell quickly the split in the center of the 9, same front bumper. This car is actually a little bit unique that it has these the hood tie downs as an option. That was really quite popular in 1970 and beyond even. So that's a little bit unusual for a 69 car. This one also looked a long time for a car that was a 4-speed with no vinyl roof. Most Chargers came with a vinyl roof. And so this car has, in my mind, a little bit different look without the vinyl roof. This car is B5 blue, which is a very popular, that's a favorite of, it's been a Mopar color for a long time. In fact, it's still currently a color today. I just love, this is one of my all-time favorite colors, this medium blue metallic B5 blue. I'll show you the taillights. This, of course, is an RT. Same deal with the engine. The 440 is always standard with an RT. This, again, the black interior. 69, very similar to the 68. Different upholstery. This is a 4-speed car with a classic crooked shifter with a wood knob. Rally gauges. These cars, I think, look really fantastic with the windows rolled down. You can sort of get a sense of it here with, it really accents the roof line without the vinyl roof. Gives it a little bit different look. This has a white stripe on a blue car, which I think is pretty striking. It would have come either with a white or a black stripe. I happen to like the white stripe on this one. This excuse me, flying buttress style roof, they call it, is a classic for the Charger starting in 68. And you can see here the styling difference for the 69 taillights. This is a really classic look for the Charger taillights. The styling of the Charger taillights on the current model, the 2016, have this sort of shape that goes side to side with the hump in the middle. That's sort of a styling cue that they followed from the 69 Charger to the current car. This 69 Charger is the Dukes of Hazzard car. Most of the Dukes of Hazzard cars that were built for the movie and the subsequent movies were primarily the 69 Charger. Of course, painted orange with all the stuff. So, just 69. So now here we have 1970. This is the third year of the sort of middle period Charger, as you would call it, 68, 69, 70. They all share the same sheet metal, same glass. Here again, there's some styling differences. Actually, on this car, the front fenders, the hood, and the grille is all different. You can see the bumper is actually integrated into the whole wide open grille scenario, sort of going back to reminiscent of 68, but still very different. You know, with the headlight doors and still the hideaway headlights. For 1970, the side scoops were available for the RT, which are kind of a cosmetic cue that this car is a 1970. That was 1970 only. This car actually is an RT SE. RT, of course, 440 standard engine. In 1970, they had a few more offerings. You could still get the Hemi optional, but the 446 pack engine was introduced. This car actually is a 446 pack engine. and it's an RT SE. The SE was sort of a designation above the RT, which gives you wood grain dash and leather inserts in the bucket seats. So this, for 1970, is nearly every option you could get on a Charger, except for, of course, maybe the heavy engine. But also new for 1970, new door panels, new interior, high back bucket seats were a first in 1970, and then the very famous pistol grip shifter, which is sort of a Mopar favorite for a lot of people. In fact, any 1970, be it a Roadrunner, Charger, Super B, any of the sort of the B-body cars, if it came with a four speed, it came with a pistol grip shifter. That also carried through into 1971. This car, I love the fact that it has an 8-track tape player. That was optional. And the car came with a Thin Lizzy tape in the dash, and the guy I bought it from said that Thin Lizzy tape has to stay in the car or else bad things will happen to you. So it's fun to ride around listening to Thin Lizzy in this old rig. So you can see again for 1970, very subtle difference, but the tail lights again were subtly changed. The taillights look very, very similar to a 69, except this area is body color, and the chrome trim actually is connected all the way through. So a small styling difference between 69 and 70. 1970. So now here we are, 1971. Huge change for Charger. What most people would agree is the third generation of the Charger. You can see in the background the gray 67, the end of the square sort of period, 68, 970 in the middle, 71, ground up change, suspension geometry, everything. Similar architecture, but also very, very different chassis-wise. Some people call this sort of the coat bottle styling, but it's a bigger, wider car, all new sheet metal glass and everything. 71 was the tail end of the muscle car period for Mopar. They were sort of the underdogs compared to the other two in the big three. One of the reasons I like Mopar so much is they had to work a little harder and to get people's attention. They always had, in my mind, the edge on colors and graphics and styling and horsepower and the like. This is a Charger RT. Again, for 1971 it was the same. The 440 engine was standard. This is the 440 Magnum engine. The 446 pack and the Hemi were also available for the RT in 71. You'll notice this car still has the hideaway headlights for 71, although in 1971 the hideaway headlights were an option. So the hideaway headlights are no longer standard in 71. This car, in 71, they had a huge option list. This car has a lot of sort of add-on options. You can see the hood tie-downs, the chin spoiler. This car actually has the fresh air hood option, which is code N96. Dodge called it the Ram Charger hood. If this was a Plymouth, they would have called it air grabber. One thing that makes this car special is the fresh air hood. There was a very limited production number of cars that had the fresh air hood option. It's worked with a switch on the dash. That Ram Charger emblem is reflected. It lights up at night. It's just really cool. It was the one and only year, the first year that they ever put a fresh air hood on a Charger. The 71, the RT had the special scoops in the door. That was significant for RT. You'll notice this car has the classic Mopar rally wheels. Came out in 1970. Very popular sport wheel for these cars. This has is kind of a unique color combination. White with this gunmetal interior. This is sort of a rare option interior. I think the color is perfect with the white. It's really kind of unique. There again we have the pistol grip shifter for continued on in 71 with the console. This is a 4-speed car. And the Tough wheel, which was a popular optional wheel, came out in 71. That was an optional also. And you can see this, the trunk spoiler was an option. That was quite popular in 71. And really interesting taillights. They kind of went all out with styling for 71. You can see those tailpipes are actually factory exhaust tips that were optional. You can see these tailpipes have a little bit of wear on them, but when they're brand new from the factory, inside of those louvers, the tailpipes extensions are actually painted orange. And so when they're brand new, they're quite a sight to see. There we have 1971. Welcome to Southern Maine Chrysler Dodge Jeep. This is our parts and service department. I feel very comfortable and at home in this part of the dealership, and I hope you do too. Okay, here we are again at Southern Maine Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Saco, Maine. Again, we're outside. We're continuing our 50 years of the Charger. A little discussion here. We're still talking Chargers, but we're going to shift gears to Super B a little bit. This car here is a 1971 Super B. It was the last year of the Super B. Super B was sort of the entry-level offering for Dodge. Started in 68 through 71 was the last year for the Super B. Super B originally was on a coronet body and always was a coronet body. For 71 in its last and final year, the Super B actually was on a Charger body. So the Super B would have been sort of a lower line in the offering from the Charger. This car has the standard Charger headlights you can see for 71. It has this fantastic Super B emblem, reminiscent from the 68 in the beginning. This is a really cool color combination in my mind. Classic for the period. This is Hemi orange with a white interior, column shift automatic car. This car originally came with orange painted steel wheels, which was pretty typical in the day, especially on something like a Super B. In most cases back in the day, those steel wheels were often, put in the side of the garage, back of the garage, and mag wheels of all sorts are very popular back in the day. This car has the optional rally wheels with the original style polyglass GT tires. So it looks pretty period correct and really a nice look on this car. The Super B has the same Charger black stripe around the windshield. This is a 446 pack car. Like the Super B and the Charger had similar engine availability. The Super B always had the 383 standard, and the Charger RT had the 440 engine standard. This is quite a rare Super B having the 446 pack option. In fact, you could also order a Hemi in the Super B. This car, as you see, it was like one of 63 produced. Just to give you an idea how rare a Super B, a 71 Super B with a six pack is. The interior is very much 71 Charger. Back again. So this is a bench seat, very sort of basic interior of the day. This Super B on the dash, very similar interior as a Charger. This is a Charger Super B. So we're still talking Super B. It is a Charger. It's even it says Charger on the trunk lid with the little Super B emblem. This car actually has the same cool exhaust tips as the 71 Charger RT. So there it is, the Super B. The end of the Super B. And then the yellow car next to it here, you'll notice the bold Super B emblem on the quarter panel. This is again a Charger Super B. I was very pleased to see that they brought back some of that old nostalgia. This is sort of the next generation full body Charger, I would call it, since the 71. In between, they had a couple different Charger bodies. In fact, one of them was a very smaller, and I forget what platform it is on, a 4-cylinder car as a hatchback, which was a Charger. Then they went back to another full-size Charger body. This was actually during the Daimler Chrysler period. This is 2007. The Charger actually, in this configuration, came out in 2006. The top line Charger back then was the Charger SRT, which had the high horsepower Hemi engine, is 425 horsepower. Quite a performance car in its day, big giant Brembo brakes. This would have been the second year for the SRT. This was a limited edition Charger. They called it the Charger Super B. It's a numbered series. They made 1,000 of them. This car happens to be number 21 of 1,000. I've owned this car since brand new and enjoyed it very much. But we'll just show you a little bit of glimpse of the interior. It really here again, the Charger, true to its heritage, is really the gentleman's hot rod. You know, just beautiful interior with all the features that you might enjoy every day. This is really a perfectly nice daily driver, kind of a car that's faster than most anything on the highway. And then of course, this is detonator yellow. Super Bs of the day were often, you know, bright, distinguishable colors, and this certainly is true to that heritage. So this really takes the Charger body from where it was until the current 2016 body, which you can see in the distance, the dark gray one. And then so we've been from 66 to 2016 and back again. So 50 years of the Charger. So that's it. I'd like to introduce you to Michael, one of our product specialists.
Hi Bill, thank you very much. Hi everyone, my name is Michael Cree. I work here at Southern Maine Motors. Enjoy working here a lot. We do things a lot different here. We don't earn any commission. We go out of our way for our customer, even over the Rocky Mountains, to get the vehicle that you're looking for.
Southern Maine Chrysler Dodge Jeep, we try to do things a little bit differently. So I'll try to dispel some myths about the car business. Well, in fact, there really are no myths. The truth is, we all buy the same cars from the same manufacturer for the same price. What it really comes down to is the people that you're dealing with. And so we would just like to pass that on to you, that you know, we are a little different. We'll do a little more perhaps than the next guy, and the price part is the easy part. So I hope you come down and make a visit to us. Thank you.